So we have 7 days until the Truth About Light Masterclass. So I wanted to come and answer a few questions that we've gotten, give you a couple of reminders, and then for those of you that are still trying to understand what it's going to be about, why it's different than any of the other sunlight or artificial light education you've done before, that's what I'm about to do here. So if you want to stick around and you're curious about it, stay. If not, then you can pass by. So on Tuesday, next week at 1 p.m. Pacific, we're going to go live together for a masterclass. So it's going to be held on Zoom. If you're in different time zones and can't make it, there will be a 7-day recording following that event. So you'll have 7 days after the event, only 7 days after the event, and then it's automatically taken off of the platform. So it's not 7 days from when you go and check. It's 7 days from when the event is actually put on, which is going to be the 28th of February at 1 p.m. Pacific. So it's going to be 2 hours of just massive amounts of information. So if you're familiar with me or if you're not familiar with me, I like things to make sense, and then I like being able to do something as immediately as I possibly can with that information, because everything or how I view life and how I view health and how I view the physical body is that you have the capacity to change. And when you understand something and then incorporate change in a very truthful, intentional way, then you facilitate the outcomes that you desire. And the speed of that is completely dependent upon you, your body, and this physical world that you are interfacing with. So with that being said, we don't waste time on things that are not going to massively transform either your understanding or the incorporation of these inputs, which for this class is going to be specifically regarding light. So that's going to be sunlight, indoor light, artificial light, light from your devices. We'll talk about even what this is doing right now in this moment and what you would anticipate would happen in a healthy body when it's interfacing with all of these different types of light. Because when you understand that, then you can understand everything else that seems so mysterious in the body. It just makes sense. Just like getting a sunburn, for example. You're never shocked about the sunburn if you understand what facilitates that output and what rules you break and what rules you have to abide by to never experience that output. So that's what we're going to be going into. We're only going to cover things that are going to influence how you utilize the life that you're living. So nothing that we're going to do is going to be to show you how you need to buy a device. It's actually going to be exactly the opposite, to show you how you don't need any devices, how you don't need any supplementation, how you don't need any medications to get the results and have the health and the vitality that you desire. And when it comes to light, this is one of my most favorite topics, because there is no moment of your day you're not touched by light. So even right now, if you're like, I'm not exposed to light, well, if you think through that, you can already start picking that apart. If you're watching this, you're exposed to light, and there is a predictable outcome to this level of light exposure. And then if you're sitting in a room, there's another level. And if you're sitting on a patio in the shade, there's another level. If you're sitting directly in the sun and watching this. So this is the complexity, but when you understand these things simply, then you can go and utilize everything in your natural world and in the modern world to benefit your physiology. You're not a victim of the world you're in and having to hide from all of this, man-made artificial light and, be fearful of the sun because of the ozone layer, all of these different things. You've got to be able to be well in this life, in the world that you're in, and in the body that you're in. And that's what freedom is. This other way of thinking is not. So, I have been watching some of the comments of people trying to, kind of assume what we're going to go into in this masterclass, and it's not those things. So the depth that we're going to go into with sunscreen is not going to be going and picking apart all the ingredients and what the ingredients do, to the electron transport chain or any of that. You're not going to use that. I'm going to show you the simplest, most truthful versions of all of these things so that you can live life, not so that you can think about how to live life. It's just going to be, as simple as what's required for a tan, how do you take care of your skin, and then how do you not get a sunburn, but the complexity of all types of light. So we're going to go into the output of artificial light, the output of device light, the output of all types of non-natural light. Then we're going to talk about everything that happens with full spectrum light, how to protect your skin and your eyes, and what is required to even be able to utilize natural light. Because a lot of people are just saying that they're doing all of these things, but they are actually not being safe in how they are utilizing even the natural light component of sunlight exposure. And so we're going to go into that. We're also going to go into how it alters things and markers in your body, even, you know, what they will test for in laboratory markers, things like cholesterol, inflammation, and all of these beautiful things that you can even identify in blood work, and how light actually alters that more than diet, and to be able to understand which part of your presentation or the healing that your body is experiencing has to do with other lifestyle factors, and how many have to do with light and the misuse and the overuse of different types of light, or just the, you know, probably more likely just you're exposed to anything and you don't think that the body has a predictable outcome to what you're exposed to every single day. And you're repeating that every single day thinking your body's not healing, when your body's probably just responding to the environment you're putting it in. So we want to make this make sense so that after that masterclass, you can incorporate change that day, not go buy a device and wait for 2 weeks. And then that's not a change. A change is, I understand a truth, I dig into it, I make it make sense, and then I facilitate a massive action. And when I facilitate that massive action, that's based on a truth, not just a good answer, or research said this one time, or if you get this device, it could, none of that. Does it make sense? Is it true? Then incorporate it. Then there's no other way to exist than you have to see a change. It can't. It would just be the same, you know, we'll go into this even in the masterclass. You know, light works even if you don't understand it. And that's the beauty of it. But when you understand how it works and what you can anticipate, and then how to be intelligent and wise in the living of your life, it's a total game changer. So everyone who, you know, could benefit from this, I would say, is everyone, because everyone's, you know, exposed to natural light and artificial light. But especially those of you who have questions or have fear about the sun, or, you know, have read so much, and you can even say stuff, you know, with regards to the ozone layer, but how are you actually applying that in your life? It's got to be simple, because you talking about the ozone layer and not knowing really anything about how that actually influences your body, and definitely not even knowing how, even if those things were true, which we'll go into that as well, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to be the best version of you with the life that we've got available, with the light that we've got available, with the modern world that you're in, and with the body that you're in, and how it communicates and utilizes all input, specifically light? So the other thing that's going to be so cool is if you have elevated cholesterol, or been told that it's elevated, if you have hormones that you don't feel are in balance, if you have any insulin or thyroid hormone, or even glucose sensitivity presentations, right? If any of these words have been thrown at you, you would benefit massively from this class. The other thing is, if you have any type of vision, brain, gut, skin presentations, you would massively benefit from this class, because it touches all of these things. And when you make it simple and you make it make sense, and then you take the change that's going to be very unique and individual to you, everything changes in this. You know, yes, you had to be intentional in your action, but there is no, you know, past just understanding it and utilizing it. You're done. You don't have to continue to research on the mitochondrial level or on the level of photons, unless you just, you know, are infatuated with information and love to learn about it. So that's one thing, but the actual application and living of your life, that's the level that I like to do medicine, because that's the level that you're either being the best version and the healthiest version of yourself, or you are contributing to whatever expression you're experiencing. It's not on the intellectual accumulation, or how you could walk through the electron transport chain, or how you could talk about fascia and photons. How is your life, and how are you utilizing what you think you know? And if you're utilizing it and not getting the outcome, then there's still something missing. So we want massive practicality, massive understanding with these gigantic concepts, something as massive as the sun. We're going to try to tackle, we will tackle in 2 hours, to where it makes sense. All of your big questions can be answered, and you know how to utilize it moving forward. You never have to go back and learn anything else, unless you're just, again, interested or dazzled or amazed by it. So that being said, we're going to go into everything that there is to know about light. So indoor, outdoor, and even no light, and then everything that you need to know with regards to your skin, with regards to what you put on your skin, with regards to even what a lot of people are doing with the skin and then having that exposed to light, and all the things that you need to know, and then how that touches vision, hormones, and every other part of your physical body. So that's going to be on Tuesday, February 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be just like if you went to the nutrition, we get in there and there are no wasted moments. This is not, to come and just be in the space together. I will facilitate other things for that, but when I do a masterclass, the minute we start till the minute that thing ends is a constant, intentional dedication and commitment to change. It is not going to be, anything cute and fluffy. We are going to saturate it with some big metaphysical truths and some understandings that make you fall in love not only with you, but the world and the metaphysical background that you are swimming in, because that touches light too. So those parts of this conversation must be in there because they are also true. But past that, we are here to change something, not to just learn something, to just pack it away with everything else that you've learned that you've never used. The intention behind this is to learn to a degree where it makes sense, learn to a degree where you know how to utilize all forms of light and be exposed to all forms of light, no matter what, and still be well, and know how to utilize different types of light to offset others, and how to just exist in your modern world and in the body you're in the healthiest, most vibrant, powerful way possible. So if you've already got a ticket, don't forget to submit your 3 questions to Bailey at info@gritnaturalmedicine.com. She's going to be compiling all of those. I'm going to be reading over those. And the way I would encourage you to use those is, one, you could either put questions that you absolutely want to have answered before you leave that 2-hour space, or the questions that you didn't see would be covered that are like in the description that you are curious about. And so I will be going through those and picking out the ones that are most applicable to that topic. But do know, because of the setting, because I'm not going to be one-on-one with all of you, that we cannot do any medical advice, meaning you can't say, how do I heal my skin cancer? That you will see how that doesn't even make any sense, or if you've ever done a class with me before. I need to know you to be able to give you instructions, right? Or even information that's pertinent to you and your very specific, unique presentation. So any other questions are welcome. Again, nothing for treatment of, or how do you use light to treat X, Y, or Z. You'll understand on your own through how we go through everything, the areas where you are missing and the areas where you could improve and the areas where you can clean up. So you'll be able to do that, navigate that on your own. So don't waste a question on that. And anything that's not in the world of light, we won't be going over, but I can look at those and maybe look at where maybe the next class could go. So, but for this specifically, 3 questions, submit via email. The cutoff date on that is Monday morning, so we won't be taking any questions past Monday morning. So you have all this, the rest of this week to get those submitted to Bailey, and then she will have those to me. So again, February 28th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 hours long, you and I in real time, just going into this topic, making it make sense, and then making it so beautifully applicable to your life, to where you can implement something no matter where you're at, or what time of day it is. There will still be some part of light you can still utilize in a more beautiful, more truthful way. So we will discuss all of that. All types of light are medicine, and all types of light can be for you if you know how to interface with them. So with that being said, I cannot wait to see you all there. The countdown has begun, 1 week away. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And yeah, so 7 days of a replay. So if you're in a different country or the time just doesn't work out for you, there will be 7 days following that event to watch the replay. And then we'll let you know if we repost that or when we repost that, if everything goes as planned. So I hope you have a lovely day. Go and get excited about your life, your body, and how all of it is so unbelievably beautifully for you.